This next act, prepare to feel the vast range of the human experience with two top-of-your-intelligence improvisers. Please give it up for Diana Brown, Jerry Ruoti, accompanied by William Kai, and they are called Fleeting Reminiscence.
Hello, please give it up for Stephen J. Burnett. My name is Diana Brown. With me is...
I'm Jerry Ruoti.
And accompanying us is...
William Kai.
Yes! You can say it yourself, William. Let's hear some love for William.
So we are about to do a completely improvised one-act play in the style of Tennessee Williams. For those of you, what do you know about Tennessee Williams? Or do you know one of his plays, or your favorite Tennessee Williams play, or maybe a trope in a Tennessee Williams play?
They're real sad.
Yeah.
Quite often. Yeah.
Quite often. They're not comedies. They're not.
Yes.
Anything else?
There's always a tragic person or something all over
Yeah, there's some tragedy. They're usually set in the South,
Yep.
sort of Southern Gothic.
Humidity galore.
There is humidity. That's right.
I don't know if you've heard of a Streetcar Named Desire, or Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. We will see none of those plays tonight. Completely different. So
We're going to make one up for you. So to get started, we need a couple of things from you. One of the things we need...
So what is a relationship you might have? So like cousins.
Barista and patron.
I heard step-parent.
That's
I
the-
also heard hairdresser. So that might get sprinkled in too.
Yeah.
But step-parents for
Step-parent,
sure.
sure.
And then we need an element found in nature like wind.
Fire. Copper.
What was that first one?
Fire.
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 Fire. All right.
I like it.
All right. So fire and step parent.
Fire and step-parent. All right. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy. My stepdaddy was like a burning inferno in our family. He came in without any warning whatsoever. And he just took, like the fire will take a forest, like the wood that gets consumed, my brothers and sisters and I, we simply became something to stoke his fires with. Oh, he loved us in his own way. I guess he still does, in his own way. But his way was hard. My stepfather was like fire.
This damn screen door and cheaply made, and I will go to the just another damn thing to do in this decrepit, fallen down house.
Why, Daddy Jefferson, I thought you'd be at work right now.
Yeah, well, they cut shifts down at the bus depot.
Is that what happened?
Pour your father a drink, Tallulah.
All right.
Damn. Boss promised me a full 40 hours, and you know what they did? They slashed it. They had cheaper labor. They said, we don't need those union drivers anymore.
Well, Daddy, it's funny you have me call you Daddy.
What would you rather call me? I married your mother.
Yes, you certainly did. God rest her soul. You know, Daddy Jefferson, maybe you could find something else to do besides sitting in a bus all day long. Sometimes I think those buses drive you.
What would you recommend me do? Join the circus? Maybe I can put on a juggling act for people. Certainly am a clown in this part of town.
Well, you said it, I didn't.
Watch your mouth, girl. Your mother may be dead, but I'm still your father. And you live here on my dime.
That's funny, Daddy Jefferson. Considering that it's my money that's been covering the mortgage for the last 6 months.
That's because, be careful who you attribute your money to. That your money is your father's money. That no good louse who went to the war and then ran off.
Don't you ever talk about my father like that.
Well, a coward is a coward is a coward is a coward. What are you gonna do? That's right. Now, I left some clothes to be mended. Why don't you go take care and mend them?
Some things can't be mended.
Certainly, but I'm sure you'll find a way to try.
And you wear such holes in your clothes, it makes me wonder what you do once you're inside of them.
Tallulah,
Daddy,
on your mother's deathbed, she said, care for my dear daughter and love her like your own. And it is because I loved your mother that I do not end you.
are you threatening my very existence, Daddy? Yeah, have another drink.
Don't you have studying to do? Aren't you going to go fix hair or something?
I know you don't think it's fitting for somebody who comes from our family to be a hairdresser, but believe me, the things I hear in there, why, they're most elucidating.
Well, then collect your secrets and collect your hair and go up and leave me be.
I hear you've been keeping company with widow Fairchild. I also hear that the place I thought was donating, you were donating mother's old dresses. You actually were giving them to that woman Fairchild.
What I do with my wife's clothes is my business.
They were my mother's clothes.
And your mother is my wife. Now go upstairs and take care of your mending.
I'll take care of my mending. You take care of mending your ways. Yeah, that's right, boys. I tell you what, this is gonna be the best football game our high school's ever put on. And my boy's on that field right now.
Well, you certainly got the fittest boy, Rick.
I do.
I mean, look at him. He could go all the way to state.
Brand, I'm awful sorry your boy didn't make it all the way.
Well, you know him. Time is not meant for football.
No, he certainly is not.
When others were throwing baseballs, that boy was picking flowers.
He's like Ferdinand the Bull.
More like Ferdinand the Squirrel, but
I get your meaning. It does do my heart good to know my boys out there on the field getting all the glory of them Friday night lights.
yeah, well,
I tell you something. I could have gone all the way, but for my knee.
I know, Red. You always tell you would have been you would have played professionally. We done a damn college game.
College game. You want a little nip?
I remember. I mean, I wasn't on the field. I kept score.
Somebody's gonna keep score.
Well, they said that. My dad said when I told him I was on the team, and he said that's the proudest he's ever been of me. Then I told him I was keeping score. He said, well, at least that math is good for something.
Well, you're as smart as the day is long.
I just said, Red, the whole family, after Daddy, I don't know, fruit fell off the tree, rolled away, and rolled into a book.
Sometimes you say things I cannot follow. But I appreciate the journey.
But your boy, he's the spitting image of you.
Yeah. He sure is. Now, your real daddy went off to the war and never came home.
Nope. Yeah.
Your stepdaddy.
Well,
Now,
my stepdaddy drives a bus. My daddy was a war hero.
I hear
My
tell,
stepdaddy drives a bus.
your stepdaddy don't drive bus no more.
Oh, I know. I heard him yelling from 3 blocks down now. Turned around and went back to the library.
My boys, you got a little sister.
I do. Not that little. She's starting to be a...
Hairdresser.
That's the word.
Yeah. Beautician is the technical term.
Yeah.
My boy's mighty fond of her. Now, she's a couple of years older than him.
Well, stepdaddy says that an older woman is good for a boy. Actually, he said to me any woman would be good for me.
You know what, Mike? Maybe you ought to keep the rest of that.
I guess so, Red.
Rand, I tell you what. You're all right.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. I mean,
Your daddy was good stock. Your stepdaddy is,
well,
not.
I'd like to think that my daddy was gold. And once you've had gold, nothing shines like gold. And so, anything that shines, even aluminum, still catches the eye.
Well, I reckon your mama was tired of looking at dull things when your stepdaddy happened along.
You know, Mama was, she was heartbroken when Dad left. She didn't understand it. It takes. She confided in me because I was a sensitive child. Stepdaddy said that was because I didn't have any balls. That's not true, though. That was just a rumor.
We showered together in high school and part of college, and
It wasn't great that Stepdaddy helped carry that rumor, but
I mean, I wasn't looking for untoward reasons, but rumor got around. I wanted to make sure.
I know. He said, my boy the eunuch, Ram the eunuch. That's who I was.
Well, God will forgive me for saying this, but your stepdad is a right asshole.
That's too kind. I'd like to think he's the fleas that fly around that asshole. I gotta get back to...
You're a poet.
Well. Can't kick a ball for anything, but I can... Mama said I had a way with words and a way with numbers. Stepdaddy says that I'm basically useless. Anyway, I should head back to the job. My lunch break's nearly over. But your boy Fletcher looks real good.
Thank you, Rand.
All right, Will. I'll see you, Red.
You want to take this with you?
They don't like when you bring the booze back to work. They say if they can't see it, it's fine. But if you smell like it, or they can see it, they're gonna have to write you up.
Rules are rules. That's right, boy. Yeah, I'm proud of you.
Now, I was thinking, I know you're new at this, but I was thinking, well, I brought a picture from a magazine.
Oh,
I clipped it out.
oh my goodness.
Could you do my hair like that?
If I had a time machine.
I heard that, Tallulah. Remember, I agreed to let you cut my hair and style me. I mean,
You have a date?
of course I have a date. I'm a widow. I'm not dead.
Miss Fairchild, from what we understand about your activities, no one would ever think you would dare.
That's good. You know that, do you know that there's a scientific study done that as soon as a woman's husband dies, they die? I'm trying to stop that. I'm going to live forever at this rate.
Yes, I think you will.
It's something about the heart breaking. Once the heart breaks, the body follows. And the brain as well. I will not be dead and dumb. That's why I need my hair to look like that picture.
Let me just brush through it and see what I have to work with, all right? Oh my goodness. Why, you have such a delicate head of hair.
Oh, yes. It's like a small cat. A small cat whiskers. A head full of cat whiskers.
I love that you use a metaphor of a cat for yourself because you're determined to just love your way into 9 lives, aren't you?
Well, yes. And smug when I'm hunted for a mouse. By the way,
Yeah.
how's your stepdaddy doing? I mean,
Seldom do I find myself at a loss for words.
I know your mother passed, but it's been nearly 8 months. I should check on him.
Now, this might hurt a little bit as I I just want to work against the natural growth pattern. It doesn't do anything for you.
Just as long as I look like that picture from the magazine, Tallulah.
How good is your eyesight?
Tallulah, I'm old, not dumb.
Well, one does not always follow the other, but sometimes when we start with a natural predilection, it's just good to give on into it.
You gonna style my hair or not?
Well, I think we ought to have a conversation before I do anything as intimate as styling your hair. I want my mother's dresses back.
They're mine. They were gifts.
They were a dead woman's clothing hanging in her daughter's closet.
A dress is a dress, Tallulah. Doesn't matter who wore or used to wear it. And besides, they're for a more mature woman. A woman with class. I am a Weatherby. You know that.
You are a Fairchild now.
Well, but you know that the Weatherbys came over on the Mayflower, and that we moved promptly south.
You moved promptly south because the other Puritans could smell trouble.
I'll make a deal with you, Tallulah. One dress, and you do my hair, and then maybe the next date I have, I give you another dress after you do my hair.
Are
And
you
so
telling me I have to earn my mother's clothes back?
Well, it's called business.
Yes, I would think that what you do with my stepfather probably is more business.
Now that's mostly pleasure. Don't mind if I smoke.
I don't care if you burn. You know, I read somewhere, despite what most popular science says, that cigarettes could kill you.
Now that's just horseradish. Cigarettes are invented by God to keep women young and thin.
And I bet you have a talk with God every day about how that's going.
So do we have a deal on that, Tallulah?
We have a deal.
You know what, I know which one. You want the green one, I bet. The one with the feathered collar?
She wore that on her last birthday.
Well, you do my hair and I'll bring it to your house tomorrow.
Would you like me to backcomb it? Or shall I just let it fall where it may, like you do the chips in life?
Or you can run a comb through it. I've got a date tonight.
Well, let me see if I can make a silk purse out of this sow's ear. Gee, that cigarette's almost gone. Can I light you another?
This is lunch. I need another one for dinner.
I think you've been such a good girl. You should go ahead and have dessert too. I'll light you a 3. Let's just line them up on your fingers like a Gatling gun. There you go. 3 for the road, my friend. Did I annoy and confuse you? Why, the medicinal properties haven't kicked in?
No, I'm feeling young already.
Did you have a nice time tonight, Daddy? Coming in here smelling of cheap perfume and alcohol and God knows what else.
You wait up for me, child?
I'm up, not for you.
Oh, well, I did have a nice time.
Not that I truly care about your well-being, but you don't seem quite right.
I'm just gonna make myself a sandwich. You want some?
All right. We ain't broke bread together in quite some time.
Don't make more of it than what it is, Tallulah. I'm hungry. I just figured you wanted to eat too.
You're gonna break everything. Sit down, I'll make 'em. Go on, Daddy, sit down.
Oh,
You want Miracle
I
Whip
left
like
something on the front porch.
Not someone, I hope. Do you want bologna and salami or just bologna? I think we're out of piccolo. Mama's dress.
She said it was a down payment. I don't know what you women talk about.
Oh my God, there's a cigarette hole right here in the skirt.
She said something about dropping ash from 3 different cigarettes on it.
As you sow, so shall you reap. I suppose I can take that to Mamie Fletcher's and she'll be able to mend it. Maybe take a little piece of the lining and make a small patch. Miracle Whip on your sandwich?
Yes, please.
Daddy, do you love Miss Fairchild?
No.
Really? Oh my
I
God.
loved your mother. Everything else is just to pass the time.
Why, Daddy, well, I'm gonna make you a right nice sandwich. Lettuce and tomato?
Yes, please.
And, do you want me to cut the crust off?
Just make me the sandwich, Tallulah. I
You
don't
love
think it's that much.
You loved my mother.
This isn't a cooking tutorial.
Daddy, I just didn't realize you loved Mama.
Of course I loved your mother. I mean, that woman was the only woman who ever understood me.
Well, enigmatic.
I don't know what that means. Like your brother. Why are you always using a $10 word when 50-cent word will do?
Because if you make deposits in the...
I don't know that either. But yes, your mother was...
She was what, Daddy? Tell me. Tell me about Mama. Tell me about the Mama you knew.
Take a half a sandwich.
All right.
Your mother was beautiful.
She certainly was.
Sad in that way after your daddy left. But I found her, when she looked at me, there was a kindness that I'd never seen prior. I've been told I'm not the easiest person to get along with. But most people are idiots.
Both things could be true, Daddy. Both things could be true.
Well, your mother was the most gentle woman in the world.
She sure was.
And the fact that she's no longer here, and I'm here rattling in this house like some prisoner in a life sentence.
Well, Randy's here part-time. I'm here.
And I'm sure I will deny this tomorrow, but the way you sass me is the same way she used to.
I know.
And while you are a pain in my rear, it's familiar.
You are the most exacerbating man that I ever had the unpleasure of knowing, boy.
What? I'm going to bed.
You want the other half of my sandwich?
Thank you.
I'm stressed.
Thanks for the sandwich.
Thanks for the conversation, Daddy. Rand!
Yes?
Rand. I think we might have misjudged Daddy. Stepdaddy.
I should call the doctor. You must have had fallen down and hit your head.
Come on out here to the sun porch. I want to tell
You
you.
know how the sun bothers me. Outdoors and...
Well, I'll pull the sun down the shades.
You were saying about Daddy?
You really loved Mama.
Well, I know Daddy really loved Mama, but
You want an ice cold Dr. Pepper? I have some out here in the cooler.
I'm not going to say no to a Dr. Pepper.
I put them out here just for you. Lord knows you love a Dr. Pepper. You used to say as a little boy, what was the jingle?
Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper, take your one, it's Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, that was it.
Mama said I sang like an angel. Stepdaddy said I sang like a, well, I don't know how to use that word anymore.
Lord, you should come in the shop and let me trim your hair.
I don't know. Isn't your hair cutting for old ladies trying to look young?
Lord have mercy, are they ever. They keep coming in with photographs, want me to turn them into something they ain't never was and never gonna be again. Of course, all of us want that, don't we? We want to buy the glamour or the talisman that's gonna turn us into That person we always knew deep inside we could be. I think Stepdaddy actually loved Mama and in his own way loves us. Thanksgiving's coming. I want you to come over.
Tallulah,
It could be different this year.
I don't know. He's gonna ask me to stuff it or cut it or something or other, and
Carve it.
that's the word. Well, if you insist, I'll be there for you.
Why do I feel like you're hiding something from me? We didn't have a full conversation with the beginning, middle, and end in over 3 months.
If I tell you something, would you keep it between us?
Well, have I ever broken one of our pinky promises?
You know Red,
Yeah,
his son Fletcher,
yeah.
we're in love. Not Red, Fletcher. I just drink with him at Red at lunch. But turns out all those things. Turns out my delicateness. Well,
Honey,
I don't know.
have you found someone to love you the way you deserve
I
to be
can't-
loved?
Don't say that too loud in this town.
Well, you don't have to stay in this little old town. You could go somewhere where you could go to like New York City or California.
We're leaving. Before Christmas. Fletcher doesn't want to play football anymore.
I don't blame him. He's awful pretty. It ruined his face.
We talk about that a lot. He has an aunt up in Connecticut. She's a Yankee, but it'll do.
Well, even Yankees are people sometimes.
He said up in Connecticut people are more tolerant of that sort of thing. And that while we could never be public about it, people would only just whisper behind our back instead of punching us in our face. And if I had to choose between the one or the two, I'd rather have the whole world whisper behind my back, Tallulah, than...
You have a beautiful face. You're my dearest, sweetest brother.
I'd like to keep it.
Well, I'd like you to keep it, honey. How can I help you?
Well, I'll come to Thanksgiving and then we'll say our goodbyes and then, send you a birthday card.
You found your happiness.
I'm trying. Who knew?
I want you to remember something.
Yes.
You have got gold inside of you.
Tallulah, now I'm just blushing.
Well, you're handsome enough to be a
I know.
matinee idol. And you're smart enough to run this country.
Now you just laying it on thick.
You're my big brother, and I'm proud as hell of you.
Thank you, Tallulah.
Who knows, someday the world may change and you can call him your husband. Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing?
Tallulah, stop with the crazy talking. Just let me finish my Dr. Pepper. But that,
I think you probably ought to go and find your bow and enjoy the rest of this evening. It's going to be a gorgeous sunset.
I'll see you on Thanksgiving.
All right, that won't make you stuff anything. No! Come on, I think that's our show. Yes, thank you!
Give it up one more time for Fleeting Reminiscence! Oh my God, it's okay to feel things sometimes.